What's good? What's poppin', everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Today, we're talking high watermark system in New World. Now, we finally got some sort of response and kind of dev post about this. Want to go over it with you guys. It finally gives them some more insight of how the system works and how they kind of plan going forward with it. There's not everything in here, but they give us a lot. And so it's really cool that they're actually finally communicating with us. I know a lot of people, including myself, have really been wanting to kind of understand this high watermark system more. Hopefully, they add some more UI visibility to this in the game. But for right now, at least we have this dev post. So we're going to go through it. I'm going to leave a link for it in the description below. So go check it out yourself. Anyway, you already know if you are enjoying this, hit that thumbs up. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy this kind of content. Lets YouTube know you enjoy this kind of content. Gets out to more people. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're doing a video every day for the rest of October, man. We're on like the last couple days here. So it's been really awesome. Shout out to the community. You guys have been great. Been so much love, and I appreciate it. I really do. Your comments, whether good, bad, everything, it just means a lot. I appreciate anyone coming out and supporting us. We're small, but we're growing, and I'm telling you, man, we got something good coming. So subscribe down below and be part of the family. Anyway, guys, with all that being said, let's get right into the video. All right, so like I said, we're talking about the high watermark system. And like I said, I'm going to leave a link for this in the description below. It starts out when you hit 60. This is confirmed. Now, I knew some people were, including myself, didn't know for sure if it happened before 60. Some people said that it might. Some people said it didn't. But it's for sure confirmed that it starts 100% at 60. And essentially, you start at, they don't say base 500 here, but we know from testing and stuff that it starts at 500 when you hit 60. And essentially, it governs the power of gear drops you receive as you venture into the more dangerous areas of the world and fight powerful enemies. We had a general idea of that. But here they talk a little bit more in depth about how it goes. It says when you reach a level cap, the mechanic changes a bit at 60, because before they say it just progressively goes on. As long as you're fighting enemies your level or higher, up until 60, you'll get drops equivalent to that. Once you hit 60, it changes. You gain an upper gear score limit. They call it an HWM, which means high watermark system, on drops that gradually increases more powerful drops appear for you. This upper limit is per item, so something we already knew. It's like per slot. For armor pieces, it's per weapon. So if you want to grind out a particular headpiece, you have to start at you start at 500. You have to keep getting those increases per item. We knew that, and it is 100% confirmed that they do not want crafting items or buying one from the trading post will give an increase. They do not. It is clear that that is not intended to increase your watermark, so it doesn't seem like that's going to change anytime soon. So for right now, they didn't say it in this either, but we know, or at least what everyone's finding, is that the highest you can get right now is your watermark is a 591, but you can craft 600 gear. So it's kind of a trade-off. You probably want to get your high watermark or your watermark system as high up as you can on everything, because I'm assuming eventually, even maybe before they open the new zone, they are going to increase the watermark system to 600 so you can find 600 drops. But until then, the highest that we've been able to find, that I haven't seen anyone else. If you guys have seen anyone get a higher watermark than 591, let me know. But yeah, it's 591 is what we know as being the highest watermark you can get essentially from a drop in the game. But here it says, not all enemies and containers are created equal. So this is where they kind of start breaking down exactly how it works. So it's cool. They give us some particular levels and what the gear score could be. So 61 is when you can start getting 530. And it says here that your chances of seeing something beyond a gear score of 530 from a level 61 is significantly lower than it is from 62. So those high, like one level difference in those high tier enemies actually make a pretty big difference when it comes to your gear score. 64 plus is when you can start getting 600. So for right now, it seems that we get about a 15, I would say, relatively speaking, at 15 to 20 every one level like higher enemy you face. So 64 gets 600, 60s probably gets you 500 to 515, 61 probably gets you to 530, 62s probably gets you about 545 to 550, 63s probably get you 560 to 575, and then you get the 600 at 64s. Now, again, this is just kind of a speculative thing on my part based off of the numbers they're giving us here. But essentially, each level really does make an impact on what you potentially get. Now, it does say here that it says you are capable of reliably dropping gear score up to 600. Now, like I said, there hasn't been actually any note that, unless I'm mistaken, but I've looked a lot. I've read a lot, and no one, from my understanding, has found anything higher than a 591 right now. So I don't know if that's intended, if that's a bug or what, but they're saying here, they're claiming that you should be able to be getting drops up to 600 on the 64 plus. And they continue to say that the system isn't fully random either. Each time you defeat a 60 plus enemy and don't receive a gear item, you're slightly more likely to see an increase the next time. So it's essentially just like you don't get it, that one drop, next drop is like probably 1 or 2% higher, and it keeps going until you find one, which is something it's a pretty basic fundamentals of how stuff works. But additionally, some enemies and those found in elite landmarks have a higher base chance of dropping these items to increase your high watermark. Level 60 plus named enemies are even more likely to drop HWM increasing items. And expedition bosses will always, they say always, drop an item that will increase your HWM. Now, what I'm wondering is if that means that maybe they talked down here about the Garden of Genesis and Lazarus instrumentality, that if they're people aren't completing the bosses and they're at 591, I don't know if that's the case. If this case says it always drops it, and people are at 591, and then they go do this and they're still not getting a drop, it makes me think that there's some sort of unintended bug or something, because again, no one has said anything past 591, but it does seem to say that you should be reliably getting up to 600 by at least doing expedition bosses will always give it. Plus, you can get it through elite farms and stuff like that. Now, some people say that you might feel. They say some of you may feel competing for drops from powerful enemies in the open world is suboptimal crowded areas. They're right. Some of you have covered it before. Essentially, the more separate groups attacking one mob, the less chance it gets to drop a rare item. Now, they don't give a specific number here. Amazon doesn't like to give us specifics here. They like to be general. But essentially, so if you're solo farming, you're doing it with like one or two other people, I would highly recommend if there's another group of one or two people, you try to just invite them into your group, because if you have 2 or 3 duos or trios or something, maybe all trying to kill something, maybe you guys all clear it fast because there's like 6 or 7 of you there. But if you're not all in the same group, it really diminishes the returns you can get. When I'm running gates or elite zones or whatever, like I'll just invite people around just because the chances of getting this is something we already knew, but if you guys didn't, I would really recommend being in a group when you can. Essentially, the more you have people attacking that aren't in your group, the less chance. So crowded areas are no-go, and if you're running around solo farming or a couple like duo, trio or something, try to invite some of the stragglers if you can, because it makes it so everyone gets a higher chance. And don't feel bad if you invite somebody, they don't say yes. It's okay. And if somebody does join you, or you invite them, or somebody invites you and then somebody leaves, like, don't feel bad. You don't have to say see you later or thanks, guys. People will just leave. Don't let it beat you up or just disarm you from wanting to do it again. Just try to team up. It's for the betterment of everybody, and hopefully people start seeing that rather than just decline because they're like, oh, you're purple and I'm green, I'm not gonna team up with a purple. It's just, guys, it's just for the way that the game works. If you actually want to get good drops and be reliable, team up with people. I'm just saying. It's just, sorry, I had to do a little rant. I've seen some people in game. I'm currently Marauders, and I've definitely tried to invite people, and I've got PM'd or whatever in general, area chat or general chat. They're like, I'm not going to team up with a green, syndicate forever. It's like, dude, just calm down. Anyway, sorry, a little rant right there. Back to this. If you want to maximize your chances of getting HWM increases in a more controlled environment, expeditions are a great way to do it. Like they're saying, Garden Genesis and Lazarus Instrumentality are full of elite monsters to fight. The bosses guarantee that you'll see an increase every time they drop a gear item for you. So again, it's whenever the gear does drop, apparently it's supposed to be higher, but no one is getting in than 591. So it's a little, I don't want to say frustrating, but it's just weird. I don't know if they're aware that this 591 thing is like the highest that we found. I don't know if it's on our part, if for some reason we're the ones messing up the system or we're not understanding something or doing something wrong. I don't know, but I still haven't seen anything past 591. And then tuning orb. This is the next big thing. This is the last thing here. We're getting close to the end. We know that tuning orbs for expeditions are particularly time consuming to craft right now, which is true, right? Tuning orbs, especially Lazarus Instrumentality stuff, it takes so much to be able to craft them. And it's kind of a complaint to some people as to why you don't run them as often compared, why go through all that trouble to do an expedition when you can just go elite farming, right? And they respawn all the time. Elite chests. There's a bunch of them in Shatterman, so you can go do this, like a whole, right? So making it, it's because there's such a high barrier to get into it. But they're saying they're in the process of adjusting expedition tuning orb crafting requirements. We expect to release an update to the crafting requirements for tuning orbs sometime in November. After they have vetted the changes, so keep an eye out. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how. I'm assuming that just means they're going to lower the amount required to make the orb. I don't think they're going to probably change up too much in materials. That'd be weird if they start deciding changing up the recipe essentially. But I think they might just be lowering how much of whatever it costs to make a tuning orb. And this seems to be across the orb, it says, or across the all of them, starting with Amrine all the way to Lazarus and Garden Genesis, all of them in between seem to say that they're trying to lower what it costs to make a tuning orb, which is cool. It means that their PvE content is going to be more accessible for more people. So anyway, thanks guys for hanging out. I think that's going to do it. Like I said, I'm going to leave a link for this in the description below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. This high watermark system is cool. I'm fine with it. I'm happy they're finally giving us some information about it. I do wish there's some UI implications so you could actually go into the game and see all this. I just did a video not too long ago about the luck and this hidden luck thing where some items are required to have a base amount of luck to even have a chance of getting it, like Orichalcum to get Cinnabar and all this stuff. So go check that video out if you guys are interested in that. But I just wish, and I know it's coming, but it just sucks that we have to like do testing on ourselves or go look at websites like New World Database and stuff like that to find out all these things. We have to like piece it together ourselves rather than Amazon just like giving us a system in the game to look at. I'm sure they're going to add it soon. It's just I wish they would do it relatively soon, to be honest, because it's just nice to know. Like it's hard to grasp everything and know how everything works when it's just based off of like speculation, some testing, some other websites, stuff like that. And we have to kind of have to like formulate our own thing. Like this high watermark system, I've made like two, maybe even no, probably about two, I think maybe three videos on it because it's ever changing because we hadn't had any official thing from Amazon. It was just essentially like, oh, this is a thing. We don't really know how it works, but this is a thing, so be aware of it. And then it's like, oh, we found out that people did more testing and figured out how the drops work. And then it's like, oh, 591 is the highest, but here Amazon's saying it's 600. So it's been a big like ebb and flow, and it's just because we don't have the information like readily available from Amazon. We have to kind of figure it out ourselves. But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoy this, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Helps me out a lot. Hopefully this, you guys enjoy this. Hopefully you guys, can use this to your advantage now that we know a little bit more about it. Let me know down below what you guys think. Do you guys like the high watermark system? Do you want a different kind of system in the game? Have you guys found anything higher than 591? Because I haven't. I don't think anyone else has, from my understanding. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys. Like I said, we're doing a video every single day for the rest of October. We got like, considering today is like 3 days out. This is the third to last video of the month. It's been a lot of fun. Great community forming here, and I want to take a second and shout out you guys again. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate you. You guys have been giving a lot of love, and I appreciate it. So yeah, subscribe down below if you haven't already. Be part of this awesome family growing community. And I think that's gonna do it, guys. Until next time, take it easy.